Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. I am Commissioner and Chair Rick Vest. To my left is Commissioner and Vice Chair Deb Shore. To her left is Commissioner Sean Flowerday. To my right is Commissioner Roma Amundsen, and to her right is Commissioner Krista Yoakum. Would you please stand with me and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, would you please begin the meeting?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, all material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk's staff. Printing options are also available on request. These materials can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ed.gov. And agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, July 27, 2021.
Move approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any comments? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through August 3rd, 2021. This needs to be amended to include the payroll ending July 28th, 2021.
Move approval.
Second.
I guess move approval with the amendment.
And I would second that.
There we go. We have a motion and a second to approve the claims with the amendment for payroll. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next are consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there's an exception, these items will be approved as one with a single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are approval of right-of-way contracts at the following: Larry R. Hartman, South 110th Street and Stagecoach Road, in the total amount of $668. Robin L. and Jolanta Dare, Southwest 56th Street and West Pioneer Boulevard, in the amount of $2,732. Michael W. and Heather L. Lomax, Southwest 128th Street and West Whitstruck Road, in the amount of $404. Grant contracts with the following: Asian Community and Cultural Center for Serving Immigrants and Refugee Youth Program. Big Brothers, Big Sisters Lincoln for Community-Based Mentoring Program. El Centro de las Americas for the Youth Program. Family Service Lincoln for the School-Based Therapeutic Services Program. Girl Scouts Spirit of Nebraska for the Juvenile Justice Outreach Program. Hope Spoke for the Diversion Evaluations Program. Lighthouse for the Restorative Practices Program. Lighthouse for the Strengths Finder Program. Mediation Center for the Restorative Justice Program. Rabble Mill for the All Access Pass Program. The Hub Central Access Point for young adults for the Volunteer Coordination Program. Amendments to the following county contracts: C-17-638 with Bob Barker Company for annual supply, correctional facility clothing and supplies. C-19-620 with Nebraska Landscape Solutions, Inc. for annual supply, ice melt. C-19-621 with Egan Supply for annual supply, ice melt. C-19-622 with Helena Chemical Company for annual supply, ice melt. C-21-266 with JEO to add additional services for structural consultation related to fracture critical bridges in Lancaster County. C-20-649 with JEO for additional wetland delineation, permitting and related tasks for construction sites in Lancaster County. C-21-285 with Felsberg, Holt, and Ulevid to add additional design and plan preparation services related to Bridge W50. C-17-882 with St. Monica's for substance abuse evaluations and substance abuse education classes for female inmates in the custody of Lancaster County Jail. Received and placed on file the following: 2018 distress warrants as of July 21st, 2021. 2021-22 Lancaster County proposed budget.
Move approval of the consent items.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? Dan, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 4 is unfinished business. This is a special designated license application from Kramer Bar and Grill for an event at Kramer Arena, 23701 Southwest 114th Street, Kramer, on September 11th, 2021.
Is there anyone here to speak? Yes, come forward, sir.
Morning, everybody. I'm Mike Roth, owner of the Kramer Bar and Grill, so I'm here to, if you have any questions or what have you.
Okay. Well, my understanding when I reviewed the paperwork yesterday was that there was one that was not documented in it, and we did get a follow-up from, I believe, the planning department it was, that said they are acceptable, or they have no objections. So, I believe the paperwork's all in. So, Mike, tell us just a little bit about the Kramer, since you're here, tell us about the Kramer Bar and Grill and what exciting things are going on there.
We always have something exciting going on in Kramer, you know. It's just a little town, about 25 people, but my wife and I have had for 11 years. I'm sure some of you know me. I've been here before for some different events, but that's about it. It's pretty quiet there.
Okay, great,
This particular event at wedding reception or?
Yes.
perfect.
Well,
We've done one before down there. It's been a few years back. Actually, the guy that owns it is the one that got married down there, so just needs a little bit of cleanup again. We'll get another one ready to go.
I will move approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this application. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is number 5, new business. 5A is confirmation of Veterans Services Committee appointment of Lisa Helms as County Veteran Service Officer effective August 12, 2021, at an annual salary of $75,286.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Rick Ringline. This is Lisa Helms. And so I have members of our staff here today and our Veterans Service Committee. In the back, we have Bill Bowman, longtime member on the Service Committee, retired Air Force veteran. In front of him is Rebecca Hellbush, that's our office manager. These two gentlemen are Bruce Troutwine and Pat Shanoshek. They're on our Veterans Service Committee. The other two troublemakers here, Zach Elston, he started with us in May, and then Jason Kaiser, who's a longtime county employee but started with us in September. And so we have a great crew. We have great support from our Veterans Service Committee. And on the 26th of July, they interviewed Lisa and some other candidates for the job. Lisa was head and shoulders above the other candidates, not that they weren't also highly qualified, but Lisa is an experienced state service officer for the Department of Veterans Affairs at the state of Nebraska. So we poached her from over there.
Good job, good job.
And now she's going to do an outstanding job with her team at Lancaster County. And so we're just here today to confirm her appointment that the Veterans Service Committee made. So I'll let Lisa take the helm here pretty quick.
Lisa, I'm Roma Amundson, and anyway, I just wanted to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please? When and where you served and so forth?
Oh, yes, 2001 to 2012, Navy. Was on the Abraham Lincoln for 3 years before I transferred to Whiting Field. I actually separated from active duty, came back to Nebraska, joined the reserves with the Navy out of Omaha. And then I did another deployment, got to go play in the sand for a year.
No,
And came back, joined the state as a veteran service officer. Have had a great 5 years with them, have learned a lot about federal and state benefits. Looking forward to learning the county side of it now. Got 2 beautiful children and just look forward to continue working with our vets.
Now, the Abraham Lincoln, what type of boat is that?
It's an aircraft carrier.
Aircraft carrier? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're welcome, Lisa. We're excited. This department that you're going to be in is really important to the board. We really have high expectations that folks there will be committed and do a good work with the people they're doing with. We've been very pleased by Rick and his team's efforts, and we're excited to have someone like you to carry that banner forward for us, so thank you.
I think we're lucky to have you.
And Rick, what can we say to you? Have you started the clock now that you got it in good hands?
It hasn't really hit me yet, and it hasn't really hit me yet, and so I'm gonna be on till, September 10th, doing a little cross-training. Rebecca's retiring as well. And we're coaching
Okay, you
somebody.
two can't retire. You gotta stay on.
We're poaching Destiny Chapleski from the sheriff's office is gonna be the new office manager, so we'll each have till the 10th to do some cross-training and everything, and at that time, the office will be 50% male, female, 100% disabled veteran, and we'll have somebody from the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marines.
Perfect.
So we don't have Space Force or Coast Guard yet.
Well, the Coast Guard.
Maybe as we expand, we'll add those on. But no, I've been blessed to, I was hired in December of '95, and I've been blessed to be here a long time, and you guys have always given us a great amount of support, always given us anything we've asked for, so I appreciate that. I appreciate these 3 gentlemen that are here today that are the same way. They'll do anything for us, and they're gonna make Lisa's job easy, but it's still a challenge, and it's very rewarding. So thank you for letting me serve the county for that long.
Could we just give you a round of applause at this moment?
I would,
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but this is the first time we've had a female in this position in
Correct.
Lancaster
It's the-
County?
Yep, it's
So-
the veteran service.
It-
We've had service officers that were females, but never the director and the service officer. So,
Wow.
yeah, very nice.
It's always wonderful to see strong women in leadership positions, so welcome aboard, Lisa.
And the one thing about it is that we have an increasing number of women who are veterans and many who are disabled.
Yes,
So thank you for your service.
thank you.
Would you like to make this motion, Roma?
Oh, sure. I move approval of the appointment of Lisa Helms.
I would second that.
we have a motion and a second to approve Lisa Helms as the County Veterans Service Officer. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Congrats.
5B is reappointment to the Air Pollution Control Advisory Board for terms beginning on September 1st, 2021 and ending September 1st, 2024. Jocelyn Ludke, Tim Schultz, and Piyush Srivastava.
I would move approval of these reappointments.
I would second. Oh,
We have a motion and a second to approve the reappointments. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a special designated license application for Roca Tavern, Inc. for an event at 17747 Southwest 14th Street, Roca, on September 4th, 2021.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the special designated license. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is a special designate license application for Myers Wine, Inc., doing business as Myers Cork and Bottle, for an event at Prairie Creek Inn, 2400 South 148th Street, Walton, on August 28th, 2021.
Move approval.
Second.
Yeah, I would just add, I guess, I skipped C. If there was anyone here from the Roca Tavern to speak, I offered that before. No. Anyone here from Myers Wine to speak? Okay, no. We have a motion and a second to approve item D. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is resolution in matter of the 2021-2022 annual cost of living wage adjustments for unrepresented classified employees, attorneys 1s and 2s, district court staff attorneys, law clerks, emergency management specialists, and deputy sheriff captains. All wage adjustments are to be effective August 12th, 2021.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 5E. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5F is a grant adjustment notice to allow Lancaster County Emergency Management to receive an additional $4,995 from the 2020 Emergency Management Performance Grant to cover a shortfall in salaries and benefits.
Good morning, Jim David, Saver Director, Lincoln, Lancaster County Emergency Management. This grant amount applies to the fiscal year that just closed June 30th, and although it's not a significant amount, I think what it demonstrates is my staff's attention to detail to ensure that emergency management is eligible as we can be for any reimbursements that are out there. So we've always participated in this emergency management performance grant with our quarterly reports, things along those lines. And as I said, this year there was enough money left over that NEMA, the Nebraska Emergency Management Agency, had the opportunity to make some reappropriations. So we received that additional $4,995.
Excellent work, Jim.
It's fantastic.
Thank your staff on our behalf.
Approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this item. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and the county engineer to award purchase orders for culvert pipe to the following: Contact Engineering Solutions in the amount of $35,989.71, and metal culverts in the amount of $21,874.55.
Pam Damon, Lancaster County Engineer. This item is to purchase 10 pipes that will be installed by county staff.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this purchase. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and county sheriff to award and execute a sole source purchase order for services to LDV Custom Specialty Vehicles. Total amount of the order is $98,327.
Good morning, Terry Whiter, Lancaster County Sheriff. We have a mobile command vehicle that was made by this company back in about 2008, I believe, and it's only got about 7,000 miles on it. As you can, it doesn't get a lot of miles, but it does get used a lot. And this upgrade would have to do with the electronics, better internet access. We have a space in there for a dispatcher should we need them on extended periods of time. And so this amount would be paid out of forfeited assets, and we'll take the vehicle back up to Wisconsin where it's made, and they'll do the retrofit on it.
I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. I is a recommendation from the Southeast Nebraska Development District to award contracts to the Lancaster County Owner-Occupied Rehabilitation Housing Program for project number 001 to the following vendors: AP Building Solutions in the amount of $370 to remove and replace receptacles. FI Construction Services in the amount of $8,332.50 to remove and replace windows.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve this recommendation. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. J is a recommendation from the Southeast Nebraska Development District to award contracts to the Lancaster County Owner-Occupied Rehabilitation Housing Program for project number 005 to the following vendors: AP Building Solutions in the amount of $325 to remove and replace receptacles, and FI Construction Services in the amount of $696.74 to remove and replace basement windows.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve this. I would just say this is a real honor to get this program started. This is something that SEND has been working on for some time, and this is the opening round of improvement grants for homes outside the city limits of Lincoln that can qualify for funds to improve the quality of the facilities folks are living in. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K is a contract with Zell LLC to conduct exit interviews on former employees who discontinue their employment with the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. Cost of the county is $75 per completed exit interview.
Good morning, Terry Wagner, Lancaster County Sheriff. We've obviously been having some turnover of late, and we really want to find out from these former employees why they're leaving. Is it the hours of employment? Is it something that we can change that might make employment with the Sheriff's Office more attractive? We're losing Destiny to the Veteran Service Officer, and Rebecca, who's retiring now, came from our office in the beginning. So sometimes it's an interagency, new challenges, but I think it's incumbent upon us in this climate of employee retention and hiring to determine why are folks leaving? Is there something we can do better to retain them? And, we've got a lot invested in our employees, so we'd like to make sure that we get a good return on that investment.
Yeah.
And this is budgeted amount. The next item, if I may, Commissioner Vest, is along the same lines, but it's to examine our culture. And Zell's going to do that as well, and we're paying that through forfeited assets. So it won't be a budgeted item.
But I just really appreciate the efforts here, Terry, because you're right. It's a very competitive time for hiring good people, and the knowledge that those folks could provide could be very helpful to you
Yeah,
all.
so hopefully we can do something that we never thought of, that Zell can provide us some insight on, something that might help retain folks.
You only know if you ask, right?
That's right.
And this is for your commissioned deputies as well as,
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yes, yes. Yep.
Very good. That is a very good idea. Move approval.
Thank you.
second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. L is a contract with Zell LLC to assess the culture of the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office to determine the engagement and satisfaction of employees. Cost of the county is $7,500.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. M is cyber risk application for the county's cyber insurance policy.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Anyone here to make a public comment this morning? Seeing no one, we'll close public comment.
Next is announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, August 5th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, August 10th, 2021 at 9 a.m. with the Board of Equalization immediately following in room 112 of the County City Building. Public hearings will be held on Tuesday, August 10th, 2021 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building for the following corporate manager applications. Crystal Carter in connection with a Class D liquor license for Casey's General Store 2967 and Casey's General Store 2721. Crystal Salisbury in connection with a Class 1 liquor license for VFW 3606 at 3340 West A Street. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commission@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV City. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
we are adjourned. I would now open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. Mr. Clerk, please begin the meeting.
The copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk's staff. Printing options are also available upon request. These materials can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, July 20th, 2021.
Move approval?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the additions and deductions. Any comment? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is notice of taxable status for the following: Lancaster County School District Number 1, also known as Lincoln Public Schools.
Good morning, Scott Gaines, Deputy County Assessor, Register of Deeds. This is a notice of taxable status for LPS that's recently purchased ground that is currently still being used for farming, so it'll remain on the tax roll until such time as they use it for their educational purpose.
Move approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve this notice of taxable status. Any comments? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 4 is notices of assessed valuation change for property taxation purposes. This includes Belmont Partners, 1081 Properties LLC, and Lincoln Federal Bank Corp., Inc.
These are just some kind of cleanup notices from items that have come to our attention that we dropped the ball on previously. It's to get the values corrected. In a couple of these instances, it was an annexation of property that disqualifies it from Greenbelt, that we missed the effective date of that annexation. Others are some lot discounting that the taxpayer qualified that was misclassified in our system, if you will. So these are just value corrections. Give them 30 days notice. If they don't like the new values, they can appeal that value. So due process is provided.
Okay. They would go through the process then if they
Absolutely.
disagree.
This is a notice saying, hey, here's your new value. You got 30 days to contest that value if it's not appropriate.
I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve these notices of assessed value change. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is 2021 Homestead Exemption Applications Late Filings. This includes Leila M. Adams, Alan C. Barber, Minton Bavsar, Willard Bowens, Dorothy D. Clausen, Randall and Patricia Dalling, Fernando Daigle, Paul and Linda Dietrich, Terrell and Julie Dreamer, Bradley D. Fisher, Leonard Jr. and Fern Gout, Clinton Hammock, Rebecca E. Helbush, Stephen R. and Deborah Hughes, Richard C. Marsh, Marilyn M. McDonald, Larry Miller, Nadine M. Murphy, Eve Osborne, Carolyn K. Rohr, Loretta Russell, Richard A. Russell II, Carl Sanders, Phyllis Schutbach, Lyle H. Stoner, Ricky and Valerie Van Meveren, Lorena Walkendorf, Patrick White, and Kara Jack, Lanping Yu, and Zaheen Sun.
Recommending approval of all these applications. The statute has a deadline to file homestead exemptions of June 30th. It also provides an extension of that deadline to July 20th if they request that extension in writing. The only caveat there is they can't do that extension 2 consecutive years. All of these people do qualify for the extension, and I'd like to thank Jill Cook, Amy Hansen, and Cindy Edwards from our office who go to great lengths to remind these people that they have to fill out this paperwork every year, otherwise they lose these pretty substantial benefits. So I'm sure we miss some that we just can't get through to on occasion, but it is one of the positive things that our office does to get the benefits where they are truly earned. So with that, we'd recommend approval of all these apps.
I move approval.
Second?
Yeah, we have a motion second. Yeah, and Scott, we deeply appreciate that. You know, we're not trying to hide, and we've been very diligent about being out front with everything that's going on. So the efforts to notify these people about deadlines that we have to enforce is
And with the population, there's some understanding issues, there's some technology issues, and with the pandemic, with federal filing deadlines moving and not moving, and it was a difficult last couple of years, but I think you can see by the number of people here that these are approximately 30 that would have missed out on benefits if we hadn't really nudged them to get to this point.
Yeah, we're grateful for each and every one. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6, appeal on denial of Greenbelt status. This is for Harold Shandera.
On this one, when our office did the review of the Greenbelt properties and whether or not they met the qualifications, staff determined that this property did not meet the requirements to be used for commercial agriculture as the primary use of the property. So our recommendation is for denial of this appeal.
Is he here by chance?
Is Mr. Shandera here this morning? Mr. Shandera?
And we've got staff that can speak eloquently on the topic if you have further questions from our
Not
office.
seeing anyone stepping up, so I don't believe.
Well, Mr.
Mr.
Shandera is here.
Oh, okay, he was blocked there. Did we want to invite him up then? Mr. Shandera, would you like to address the board here? Yeah, that'd be fine, sir. I couldn't see him at all. He was just perfectly blocked.
I feel I'm being discriminated against because I have neighbors with adjacent properties who have less property than I and use them for less agricultural means than I do. I put up hay on mine every year for horses, and I sell some of it, and I've got some receipts here to show that I fertilize it and I have it harvested every year.
Okay. And so, Scott, I guess if we want to go deeper into the weeds today, do we need to bring someone over to address the?
I mean, I can do the best I can. My understanding from talking to staff is that, yeah, we recognize that there is haying going on. The horses themselves, there's the commercial agriculture nature of the property just wasn't there. And the Derek can back me up if there's anything more specific on that. But, and I know that, I think there's a neighbor directly south has a pretty much identical setup for horses, and that is not on Greenbelt and is being treated as Mr. Shandero's property would be if this denial takes place.
Is there also an IRS form that needs to be filed?
Technically, for under 5-acre properties, they're required now to have a,
Okay.
his is an under 5 acres, so that's not a requirement.
Okay,
also.
okay.
So we're acknowledging that there is some haying on the property, partially used for the horses, partially you may sell it occasionally, but that it didn't rise to the level that it becomes a primarily commercial agricultural production.
And is that the key term here, primarily? Is that because it just does, there's not enough commercial activity to rise to the level of getting the Greenbelt status? Is that what I'm hearing?
That would be my way I would phrase it, yes.
Okay.
Where do we draw that line?
It's a very gray line, but where do we draw the line for, well, the statutes provide definition of what commercial production agriculture is.
I assume it was somewhere on the state side.
I would say this just doesn't, I'm trying to think of a better phrase other than rise to the level. I think there's some incidental use that just doesn't rise to the primary use of the ground.
Well, you had mentioned that there would be people who could speak eloquently on the subject.
Derek. I think he was looking at Derek.
Obviously, that isn't you.
I thought you did fine, Scott. Don't feel bad
way of
now.
saying that,
Don't feel bad.
Pressure's on. Derek Niederklein with Lancaster County Assessor's Office. And to clarify a little bit, the statute does require the commercial production of an agricultural, horticultural product. In this case, we've inspected the property. We can see that there's fences up. There's no haying going on when we inspected it about a month ago. There is no IRS Schedule F, which is a profit or loss from farming. While that's not required, it's a great indicator that there's an attempt to use the land for the commercial production and essentially income.
I do have copies of receipts where I have fertilized it every year for many years now, and I have harvested hay every year. And like I said, I have adjacent neighbors that have less land than I do and do less agricultural activity on it than I do, and they qualify and get Greenbelt status, so I guess I don't see why I wouldn't.
Right, and particularly the parcel that's just to the south of yours, they're valued in the same manner that you are currently as a residential site, and they've got some incidental agricultural use on the parcel. The other parcels in that area, they may have brought us a Schedule F that identified that not just that they have expenses to accompany their land, but they're also, they have an indication that they're achieving a profit, and they're intending to achieve a profit from that production.
Is that one of the key things, is that a profit must be gained?
Schedule F.
Right.
Lost.
Yeah, profit or loss.
Gained or lost.
The IRS Schedule F is profit or loss from farming. Even the loss, there has to be a gain at some point. It wouldn't be just simply an expense going forward with no intention or no achievement of a profit at some point in time. And in this case, it appears that this parcel is occasionally hayed. It may be occasionally grazed.
I've hated every year for many years now.
And but not sold that, not use that for the commercial production of an agricultural use is the question that we weren't able to get over in our review.
Yeah. We've got
Okay.
a question from Deb.
Two questions. Did you look at the properties that he's referring to as well when you were out taking a look?
Right, yeah, we review the land use of the properties in the area, and,
So for some other reason, those qualified other than the properties to the south?
yes.
Okay. And then, this is going back, but are you still looking, is it the farm service number? Was Scott, do you remember this when we did Greenbelt years ago? It was a number, farm credit service number.
I mean, we haven't had any indication that there is one in this case, and that's not a...
That's not a factor.
That's not an end-all
Okay.
currently. I think if there was a number, that would give an indication that it is a commercial operation.
It just seems like a failure of statute, like that there's not some clean line in the sand where we can go like, yes, there was more than $5,000 of loss or profit, and then therefore it's like, whatever. I mean, that's just one example. I'm not any
They used
genius.
to draw the line at 20 acres and said, if you don't have 20 acres, you're not a farm. Or unless you can show us this amount of income. And they keep tweaking it. Now it's just essentially, if you're over 5 acres, you gotta show based on facts that it's a commercial agricultural operation. I think Derek used the right term. This one has some incidental agricultural leanings, but it's not the primary use of that property.
How many acres do you?
10 and a half. And the adjacent property I'm referring to probably has 6, 7,
And they are in the Greenbelt, sir?
right behind me. Have Greenbelt status.
What kind of ag operation are they involved in?
They have, probably, part of the time, they have 3 or 4 cattle on it, is all, on their little pasture area, and they take them elsewhere part of the time.
Okay.
Cattle being a key operative word there, I think, in identifying commercial agriculture as opposed to horses.
Gotcha.
What would be the difference? I mean, I put up hay on mine, they don't.
Right. Typically, even with the IRS Schedule F, there are rules for horses. Are they used in an agricultural endeavor, or are they used for, more as pets? Yes. And cattle, on the other hand, are generally more aligned with agricultural product raised for, those purposes.
Okay. Any further
So I
questions?
guess my question is, if I get a cow, will that change my status?
I'd encourage you to consider this even in future years. While we feel that your current use doesn't qualify, with some modifications to how you're using the land, you very well could qualify. And that could be either filing a Schedule F with the IRS, changing, your practice to achieve a profit, an agricultural profit from your land, and certainly grazing different animals, agricultural animals is an opportunity as well.
Is Schedule F the indicator then that changes my status or not?
It would depend on the merits, but it's typically an indicator.
Sounds like that would have to be considered carefully, sir, if you turn in a Schedule F indicating, kind of commercial intentions. That is something that the assessor's office would have to consider. That's what I'm hearing anyway. And the cows, it sounds like, are an option too for you going forward.
Well, these are always, a gray area. We have to really look at each on a case-by-case basis. And based upon the recommendation of the county assessor, I will move we deny the Greenbelt status. Sorry.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to deny Greenbelt status. I just want to thank everyone here for their input on this. These are difficult calls. Please call the roll.
Flower.
Yes.
Thor.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes, with reluctance.
Yocum.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Hey, sir, Mr. Shandera.
Yes.
If we're going to be done, I think, pretty quickly, aren't we? I'd be interested in, if you have the time, I'd talk with you for 10 minutes afterwards, just about how we could adjust the state statute in this. This is a failure of state statute. They need to draw clear lines. So
Agreed.
that's my opinion.
I agree. It
So-
seems discriminatory the way it is right now with.
If you stick around afterwards, I'd be happy to have that conversation.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Very kind, Sean, thank you for that. All right.
Next is number 7, public hearings. 7A is 451 exemption applications for 2021.
Recommending approval of all of, oh, I'm
Are
sorry.
you going to
jumping down
open
on-
the public hearing?
Let's open the public hearing.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. These are properties that have been acquired or changed use after the first of the year. They can make application to us by the 1st of July. Our recommendation on all of these is approval, and there's a couple exceptions there. The 2 Camp Sunshine properties, recommendation is for a partial approval, and we're approving everything that's not used for agriculture. So they've got a portion of these properties that are used for our agricultural still farmed. The approval would be for the non-farm area of these 2 properties for Camp Sunshine.
So we're recommending approval for all with a partial approval for the Camp Sunshine.
On their 2 parcels,
2
correct.
parcels, okay. All right. Let's, anything else on item A? Anyone here to speak about item A, the 451 exemption applications? Anyone in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone neutral? All right, we'll move on to item B, notices of proposed changes in exemption status.
These are previously approved exemption applications where the property has sold. So this is the technical removal of that exemption based on the sale of the property.
Again, anyone here to speak on item B, notices of proposed changes in exemption status? Anyone in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone neutral? We'll move on to item C then. Motor vehicle tax exemption.
This includes Mosaic Southeast, Hope Spoke, Crossbridge Christian Church, St. John the Apostle Church, St. Peter's Catholic Church, Crossroads Church of Lincoln, Nebraska, Inc., Christ Lutheran Church, Christ United Methodist Church, St. Michael's Catholic Church and School, Trinity United Methodist Church, My Bridge, Capital City Christian Church, Bryan Medical Center, Christian Student Fellowship, St. Thomas Aquinas Church, and St. Monica's Home.
Is there anyone here to speak on any of these motor vehicle tax exemption applications? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing.
Next is number 8, action on the following. 8A is 451 exemption applications for 2021.
Move approval?
I will, I will second with the notation that the 2 Camp Sunshine properties are partial.
Yes. All right.
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve, and noting that 2 parcels owned by Camp Sunshine are partial approvals. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. B is notice of proposed change in exemption status for Epona Horse Rescue, Inc.
Move approval of the notice?
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve item 8B. Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is notice of proposed change in exemption status for Star City Youth Foundation.
Move approval of the notice?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 8C. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval of the motor vehicle tax exemptions?
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 9 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Is there anyone here this morning who'd like to make a public comment on items not related, or not on the agenda at this time? We have a couple of persons standing in back. Anyone here to make a public comment?
I-
Seeing no one? Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's wait. Let's give it a
Wait, yeah.
second.
I'm
here.
ready
We've
to
got a
move
huddle.
adjournment. I'm
It's a
just-
football
I'm-
thing, it's a
yeah.
huddle.
It's a huddle.
We don't want to. Yes. Yes, please come forward, sir. Yeah.
Do I need to sign in?
If you would, that'd be great.
Just one note, sir, the commissioners are not allowed to respond during public comment. We do receive the information that's shared from the people speaking, but we're not allowed to engage with you. We can't take questions and respond, but you are free to have your 5 minutes of public comment.
They can't respond to you, but you can tell them what you
Okay. I can't hear you or understand you. That's, she's my
I'm his
interpreter.
interpreter.
You're lucky to have her, sir.
Yes, very fortunate, thank you.
Your name?
First, I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Fred Nass. We live at 600 Northwest 126th Street, which is way out on the west edge of the county, mile from the county border. You need any other information about it?
No.
Okay. As I was saying, I want to thank you that we have this opportunity because we've been pursuing resolution of this situation in which we find ourselves since January. And I'm thankful that I ran into Corey in the office yesterday and learned that you were having these meetings this day. So thank you for the opportunity to appear. What I want to talk to you about today is, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's technically a protest of our tax valuation. But I'm going to explain, I'm sorry.
All right.
Or try to explain, this is not really a routine valuation protest. What we are actually looking for is for you to restore, if you will, an exemption that was imposed on us in 2004, and that the assessor in 2021, for some reason that I can't understand, wants to, in effect, revoke and put the building back on the tax rolls. Now, like I said, this is very confusing, and it's not a situation that we asked for. We are kind of in a position of, we ran into a conflict between two agencies of the county. What happened is we moved here in '97 and bought a small farm out on the west, out where we live. We moved into the house in 2000, in 98, I started building another house. And in 2000, we moved into the new house, and our son, who had just got married, moved into the old house. And they lived there until 2004, when we started the process of subdividing the land and creating two separate parcels.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
Well, in July of 2004, while we were in this process, we'd already dug a lagoon and had the place surveyed. And in July of 2004, we got a notice from the Building and Safety Commission that we had to vacate that old house because the comprehensive plan that was going into effect in 2005 prohibited 2 houses on 20 acres.
That should be grandfathered in.
So
I'm going to allow this to go on.
Pardon?
Go ahead, sir. We want to hear what you have to say.
So we vacated the house. Our son bought another house in Air Park, moved, and we disconnected the electricity, we disconnected the water, and we basically closed the house and abandoned it for all basic. However, we didn't remove the house because I had reached agreement, I guess, with the Building and Safety Committee that at that time I had just planted a vineyard, and I was at that time thinking about starting a winery. And I thought that perhaps we could use that building as a kind of a front door to the winery or a sales retail venue or whatever. So the house was not removed. It is still there today. Now from 2005 to this January, there's been nothing said about the house at all. It's not been on the tax rolls. There's not been any question.
We've all done that.
Can you? I'll stay away from that.
Just keep going.
I don't even know where I was taking.
It's been off of the tax rolls until
Oh,
January.
it's been off the tax rolls. Then in January, we got notice that the assessor is proposing to put this building back on the tax rolls, and he has valued it at $5,000, or in excess of $5,000, actually $5,300. And it's not worth $100. It's not worth anything to anybody. And when I talked to them in April, I originally appealed the informal appeal in January, and they denied it, but I went in and talked to them in April again. And at that time, he told me, I asked him why they had restored it, and he just told me that it has value. And that's all I was told. And I don't understand why this issue has arisen. But what I'm wanting to know, or what we're requesting, is that you restore or confirm or affirm or whatever you have to do, that exemption that's been on this building since 2004.
I just have two questions
We're
for
gonna make-
clarification.
yeah, We're going to allow Commissioner Short.
Would you be interested in turning the house back into residential and having someone live there if that was possible?
Well,
And what about the vineyard option?
in answer to your question, that has arisen because our grandson has recently got married and he's looking for a place to live and he wants to live in the country. But I honestly don't think that, well, I know we've talked to an attorney and because of the way the zoning is, we can't have more houses out there.
On 20
So-
acres. How many acres do you have, sir?
Pardon?
How many acres? I think you said about
I've got 22 acres.
22 acres.
Yeah, and do you have the document that came from Building and Safety that told you you had to vacate the property?
You have the document that told you you had to vacate that house.
I don't have it with me now, but it's part of my file. It's part of the protest that we
Okay,
filed.
so we have it. Because you mentioned Building and Safety, and I'm sure that the Planning Department was part of this process as well, and I would like to have their input, so that's,
Can you leave your contact information, sir? And I'm hearing that we are going to check this out and follow up with you.
You want our contact information here?
Yep,
We'll put it
please.
on there.
And your name, ma'am? We didn't get you.
I'm Joyce Nass,
Nice to meet you, Joyce.
likewise.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your coming this morning. We appreciate your sharing this story. And we are going to do some investigation on this. You brought it to our attention. We'll check it out.
Is there any need to come back to the meeting next week?
I think.
Maybe, huh?
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay.
We'll let you know.
Joyce is leaving your information, so.
Particularly your phone number.
Address, is that sufficient?
Do you have an email address?
Oh,
Yep.
that's a good
Let's use
idea.
that.
It's a good get.
Put Jake on this one.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here, folks. Okay, anyone else here wishing to make a public comment on an item not on the agenda?
I move we adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.